Hello, everyone. Just so I've given a few minutes, let everyone join. I see there's a few people sort of filtering in, so we'll give everyone a chance to join. Couple more seconds. A few people still joining. Okay, I think that'll do. So, perfect. Awesome. Thanks for coming along. Hello, everyone. And thank you for coming to the latest webinar in the series using sort of quote templates and signatures and such. Special thanks to those who have attended so far. I'm sure content has hopefully been useful. And we do have recordings available for those who wish to watch them back. We've covered things, they're all on our YouTube channel, so content for making reports, quoting, even some sort of free training, as it were, for new users in the form of the New Users 101 webinar we hosted about 2 weeks ago now. That's the most recent one we've done. And then in a few weeks' time, we have another webinar coming up for measuring CRM success using sort of features such as goals as well. So plenty coming your way and plenty we've had that you can go and watch as well. If you have any suggestions for webinars you'd like to see in the future, email them to us, drop them on a live chat. Next time we speak, let us know. We're always looking to deliver more content to help you guys out. So for those who don't know me, my name is Alex. I've been with Prospect for coming up 6 years now, 2 of which have been with the Access Group since our acquisition. So hopefully I've got enough experience for today's session. We've also got my colleague on the call. Her name is Jess. She's going to keep an eye on any questions as they come in. So we will do a Q&A at the end of the session as always. So if anyone has any questions either now or throughout the session, just throw them in there and we'll see if we can get to those at the end. For today's agenda, we're going to focus on creating documents and email templates, as well as how we can access these templates easily, including a look into auto attaching PDF and library files as well. We're also going to focus on brand consistency through sort of email signatures and various ways to streamline communication with your customers. So key takeaways today. So brand consistency, we're going to be looking at talk about brand consistency and we're aiming to ensure communications align with your sort of brand's identity and values. Emails from all members of staff of the same level of professionalism, regardless of the sort of various types of correspondence you're having. Consistent templates reinforce brand recognition, making it easier for recipients to identify and remember your business. Efficient communications, so by using pre-designed templates for quotes and emails, you can save a significant amount of time on repetitive tasks. So instead of creating each document or email from scratch, you can simply customize the template with the necessary details to include merge fields, which help to automate and change text such as names and dates and things like that, things you don't need to be filling out each time, and we can have the system do for you and save you some time. This streamlines workflow, allowing you to respond to inquiries more quickly and ultimately improving that efficiency. And enhance professionalism and brand perception as well. So well-designed email templates and signatures add a level of professionalism to your communication, including items like a logo, contact information, relative sort of links to social media and such like that, offers your brand as the way it identifies and provides recipients with essential information in a visually appealing format as well. So I won't bore everyone with PowerPoint. I'm starting to get through that quite quickly. I'm going to go straight into a demo. I think everyone's more interested in learning how we actually make these templates and use them as well. So this is the demo profile, what most of you are probably accustomed to, especially if you're sort of joined us on a few webinars in the past. It's the That's My Jam CRM profile. It's a fictional company, a B2B wholesaler of jam products and jam jars and machines and stuff like that, just to sort of set the stage a little bit here. So we're going to focus on exploring sort of email templates first and how you create those templates, and also document templates as well. So starting from our dashboard, on this left-hand side, you've got settings. and we're going to be spending a lot of time today in system settings, so you will need to be an administrator for this part. And then we're going to be looking at emails and documents, specifically this option for document templates. And as always, you can give that a search if you need to find it that way instead. So we've got plenty of templates in here already. This is a mix of email templates, Word document templates, PDFs, and things like that. So we're going to show you the process of making one from essentially from scratch. So in the top right, you've got the plus icon. And the scenario here, we're actually going to be making both a letter and also an email for a new customer. So someone you've just onboarded, they've just opened an account, maybe made their first 1 or 2 orders, and then we're going to send them a bit of a welcome introduction sort of package, if you like. So we'll call it, that's my jam, welcome. That's my jam, welcome email. So going through the options below, we've got a type, in which case is going to be email for this first example. You can ignore the document code. That's just a sort of a unique identifier that will generate itself. You can add a description in here if you want to sort of type a bit more about what the intention is for this document or this email. And then we've got the option to where we're going to merge this data from, which essentially means what kind of area in the CRM are you going to be using this? In which case we're going to focus on a contact. So we're going to send this welcome out to the key contact or the buyer of the company that's been trading with us. So we've got a new row in here then. So if I go and find that now, so that's my jam welcome email is the newest line in there. We've got a few more options on this right-hand side, including the ability to group these documents. So you can make new documents if you wanted a series of welcome emails, or you just want to put this into marketing or sales or something like that. So you can group those if you wish. Our extended description, an email signature, which we will cover later separately, and a few other bits and pieces, including the pins and menu, which we'll cover a little bit later as well. So we're going to focus initially on making that email template. So we click edit in the top right hand corner, and we're greeted with a relatively blank screen because obviously we don't have any content just yet. So going through, just sort of walking around the page, we've got a from, name and address, the ability to automatically CC people into these templates, a subject, the ability to sort of fill in some of those search and replace fields as well. So I've made a very simple template for us to use today, just so I spend a little bit less time typing things out and a little bit more time showing you functionality. So I've got a very simple email here that just says, hello, customer name. Thank you for your recent inquiry. Hope you've got plenty of positive outcomes from our conversation, etc., etc. So you'll notice I've got these highlighted in red. I've seen this plenty of times with customers who perhaps use Outlook or something. They'll have a couple of templates and they will go and manually type over that name with Bill's Kitchen or something every single time they want to send this template out or use it. So obviously that's not what we want to do. We want to make an automated way of doing that for us. And that's where these sort of merge fields come in on this right-hand side. So if I want to send to hello name or hello contact, it could be the company. We'll start with the contact to begin with. We have this search and replace on the right-hand side. And you've got 2 options. You can hit show more and expand sort of through the different things that can merge into there. So we've got the first name here and we've got the last name, in which case we'll now say hello first name, last name, and whatever contact we're on, it'll obviously pull that information from that person. And then another way of doing that, if you don't want to sort of trawl through this list, there's a search option at the top. So if I search for the name, you get different options in here. You can search for all those as well. Search more fields. So we're going to look at company name as well. So I've highlighted that, hit company name. That goes and sort of replaces itself over the top. So now we're going to grab that name every time we use this email template. And it's going to change that color back to black as well. And it's bold, so I'll get rid of that. Okay, a couple of other things. So subject, you might just want to have the subject pretty fixed. So that's my jam, welcome or something, or welcome to that's my jam. that'll just populate itself every time you use the template. And then you can even have a from name. So this is where perhaps you don't want to build quite a personal relationship, but just with the team. So you might change this to sales at, or to have the from email address being sales at That's My Jam or something like that, just so they're not responding to you directly, but to a communal inbox or something, so everyone gets to look after this customer going forward. So I'm going to leave it as that. I hope that makes sense so far. Obviously, there's a load of other ones we can use down here as well. So additional data in the forms of dates that you might want to use, different brandings and such like that as well. So we'll save that and we'll come back to this in a moment. So the other item we want to look at is document templates. So we've made an email. If I go through the same process again, we'll have That's My Jam welcome letter. And this time for type, we're going to use Word. We're going to leave these blank again, and we're going to merge it from the contact again. Automatically open on creation does what it says. If you leave that enabled, it will just open up Word every time you use this template. So I'm going to turn this off, and then pin to menu, we'll set that one to yes, and I'll show you what that means in a moment. So again, we're going to have another line now added to the bottom of our list of documents and emails. Going into the pencil on the right-hand side, we've gone through these options down here, so I won't do that again, but we have now a blank, basically A4 sheet of paper, if you like. If we click edit, that will open up a blank Word document, and you can start building any sort of templates you like in there, whether it's a quote document, in this case, a welcome letter, anything that suits your fancy, you can start building from scratch in there. Alternatively, if you already have something like this you're using, even if it's just a starting point, like some branded letterhead or something like that, you can drag in a Word document. So I've got one here. I can drag this straight in, and that uploads my template that I've already made. So I'll click edit and show you that in a bit more detail as well. Give that a second to open. So I haven't put many merge fields in here, and there's a specific reason for that. I'll come onto that just when it loads up. And then we'll look at how we can use these templates in sort of coinciding with those emails we've made as well. Okay, so again, we've gone through, we've got on behalf of the customers, I wanted to extend a warm welcome. So we've got a nice letter, bit of branding at the top there, and then these sort of search and replace fields, these merge fields again. So it's going to go and get the username, in this case me, my job title, my phone numbers, email addresses and such like that, and then a bit of company information down here. I haven't done names because I wanted to show you again how to get these merge fields is a little bit different if you're using Word. We actually have a plugin which you can basically download from the App Store. It's nice and easy to find. We have a whole article on downloading this. You essentially go to the add-ins and you can go and add an add-in from here and go and get our Prospect CRM add-in. And what it does, similarly to what we've just seen within the email editing, it just gives you those options within Word as well. So very helpful if you are building from scratch. That's my jam. That logs me in. Obviously, I need to do that once. And now I've got all my field selectors again. So if I want to go for dear name, delete that, look through here or search for a field, search a name, works exactly the same. I can get first name and last name. Dear first name, last name, or you might go for salutation, dear Mr. last name or something like that as well. So I pinned this document, if you remember when we first made it, again, just on this, within this pencil, this little edit. At the bottom, there's an option to pin the menu, and I'm going to show you why. So I have a contact here. We've got Mary Berry. This, for a second, let's imagine she's brand new. We've only just set up an account, and I want to send that welcome email. So an unpinned letter is a couple of clicks to get to. So if I hadn't have pinned this, I press plus, go to document, use our template, select the template we've just made, which is that's my Jan welcome letter, and then press create. So there's a few clicks there, probably like 6 or 7 clicks to get to that point. Pinning the letter basically does all those steps for you. So if I go back to Berry and I've pinned that document, so if I got to these 3 little dots, I can now create these different items within here. So I've got the new customer email, give that a refresh. Go into our 3 little dots again and create, that's my Jan welcome letter. So instead of having to go to plus and document and template, I can just click that and it does sort of all those steps for me, and I end up at this place. So again, it's all about sort of efficiency and less clicks and easier outcomes and such like that. So if I open this in Word now, you'll see the same sort of template we've just made, but all of those merge fields should now be sort of filled in with the data it's pulling from our contact and the data it's pulled from me as a user, and bring them into that letter. So we're not having to type each time. Still nice to have that personable sort of relationship. If you are doing an email, you can still type and you can still do different things with those letters and emails as well. But the bulk of the information, so dear Mary Berry, looks like I forgot to put a space in there, but that's fine. That's a quick change. But we've got dear name, all of our content, who I am and my job here, as well as some of my contact information as well. And again, there's nothing to stop you now. The template's been made, just going into here and adding your own notes and bits and pieces you've spoken about. So another option, especially sort of sticking with that theme of welcoming a customer, is the idea that we can actually attach documents from our library and attach those straight into our emails as well. So if I go back to Mary Berry for a second, I'm just going to go into the library just for those who haven't seen this before. The library is kind of like File Explorer within Prospect. You can create structures here, so you can add a new folder, press OK, add folders within this folder, and basically create a bit of a structure to host documents and PDFs and things like that. So we've got things like specifications folder for products, which has a specification document. So that's the sort of rough use for this as well. And what I have is a terms and conditions PDF, which I want to send in coinciding with that initial welcome email. I want to send over our terms and conditions to that customer as well. But I don't want to forget to do that, so I'm just going to have it attached by itself. So if I go back to our settings, so I'm back in system settings and then document templates. If I go to my welcome email that we made earlier, click on this little pencil, we might want to edit the template and just put something in there that our terms and conditions are attached. But we have this option down here for attaching templates. Press plus, apologies, attaching files. We'll come on to attaching templates in a moment. So attaching files, this brings up that library that we just looked at. Go into terms and conditions and attach this here. So now if I go back to Mary Berry, I'm going to click on her email there, click on a template. So we've got my welcome email, and at the top we've got terms and conditions PDF automatically attached, as well as that content that we made earlier. When it comes to that other option for attaching templates, this is mainly or specifically around quotes really, and how to sort of streamline that quote process. So if I was to go into one of Mary Berry's quotes, got one there for £630. Again, you're likely going to already have some email templates for this customer that they can use for quoting. So I don't know, basic quote email or something like that, which got a bit of a table in there and such like that. And this automatically attaches a product brochure, which is brilliant. But we want to actually, instead of having the table within the email content, I want a nice simple email that says, please find your quote attached. And then I want it to attach a PDF quote for me, so I don't have to make it each time. So if I go back to our settings, we have already got a few of these set up. So I have an email cover for our PDF quote, and that is an email template, a nice and simple one that says, hello contact, here's your quotation attached, please see the reference and version. We've got some authorization buttons, which I'll show you in a second. We've got a separate webinar on sort of how to use those, but they might be sort of really interesting for some of you guys. So really basic email. And then what this email does, as we scroll down these options on the right-hand side, is it is attaching the simple quote document as a PDF. The simple quote document's also in this list. So simple quote document here. If I click on that pencil, you'll get a bit of a preview there of what it's doing. And I can open this up if you like and just show you what it looks like. It's nice and simple, similar to the letter we've built. It's got some content, some search and replace fields, merging that data in, getting the names in and such like that. Once you're happy and you're sort of have confidence within this document, you should essentially never need to open it again once you've made it in this case. So here we go. So contact name, their company address, bits and pieces like that. And then these here are our quote tables. Again, if you'd like to know more about that, we have a separate webinar on sort of making quote tables as well. So that's what we're looking to attach, but I don't want to do it each time. So that email template for simple quote document will automatically be attached if I use the email cover PDF email template. So I'll show you that in action, just because it's quite a lot of words. So I'm on this quote here. I'm going to send this quote, and the template I'm going to use is the email cover for PDF quote. So we've got here, Dear Mary again, bits and pieces that we've merged. Our quote number, that's the subject of the email template. And then more importantly, the That's My Jam quote PDF. So when I send that, that will automatically generate and send that out without me ever having to need to sort of open it up. If you did need to open it, that's absolutely fine. You can sort of delete this and make a new one from scratch, go and add an attachment using a template, or go and make a template first and go and use one of the ones you've made, or go and make a new template from scratch and such like that. So one thing you've probably noticed throughout all the emails is there's a rather crude looking, very roughly put together email signature at the bottom of these as well. So regardless of what the template says, this sort of consistent pink name and down is always appearing on our quotes, on our emails. It's always down there. So we're going to cover that as well, and just how to make those signatures and what you might be able to do with them. So if I go back to our settings, system settings again, so again, you will need to be an administrator to set these up. And you've either got in email documents, go find signatures, or giving that a search again. The email signatures we've got, the one I've made and the one you've been seeing is That's My Jam. Come on to that one in a second. If you make a new one, you've got the plus icon in the top right as normal. You can make new signature, add a description if you like, and then you can start making your signature again using those merge fields. So from, and then you might want to go and get the username or something like that from this person's job title, name, from username, that's my job title, this is my contact information, this is my sort of logos and such like that. To add images, you've got this little sort of tab on this right hand side where you can go and link things into images on the internet. You can then decide a width and a height for them as well. And once you've sort of set this up, you'll end up with the signature that I've made. You can also use a HTML sort of generator. There are plenty of tools online where you can go and build a signature and almost copy and paste this output that it does for you. And that's a really popular way of achieving that. If you just want a nice, easy way of sort of doing coloring in images and such like that, you can use a HTML generator and then import this code with a simple copy and paste. It's not too technical. I know it looks quite intimidating. I certainly can't read that, but it's actually just a quick copy and paste. Once you've had a play around with it, you'll end up with your template signature, which looks like this. So in this case, username, job title, that's my jam, a bit of blurb at the bottom, and then my image as well. And this is the HTML I was referring to. So if you design this, you can actually copy and paste this and put this basically anywhere, and this will generate that signature for you. So hopefully that's not too confusing there. And what we do once we've got that signature, I would highly recommend setting your first signature up as default. And that's what we were seeing here. Now, regardless of what template we were using, what email template, it's always selecting the That's My Jam signature. There is a drop down on each email, so you can change that as you go. And if manually you need to make a change to that. Alternatively, if by default this one's not correct for a specific scenario, you can actually specify a signature for different email templates and different documents as well. So if I go, just again, switch back to that setting for document templates, if I look at my welcome email that I've just made, there's an option in here for the signature where by default, obviously it's using that one we've just made for the That's My Jam, but I can differentiate that to a basic signature or something like that. So the idea here is if you were making a specific email template or something for an Easter promotion, you could make a signature to go along with it, change the banners, change the images, make it a little bit more festive, or is that the right word? Festive for Easter? I don't know, but make it a little bit more branded for being on Easter, and then have this template specifically as an email promotion template for Easter, then have a signature that matches, if that makes sense. Just going to go back to our PowerPoint then. So that sort of concludes the demo. I appreciate there's probably quite a few questions which are going to be based on a case-by-case scenario. So obviously we still have the help team there if there are specific sort of queries you've got. That was a very generalistic approach to how you do these sort of tasks, how you make those signatures, and how you sort of navigate those menus to get to the administrative settings you need as well. So just to go through our sort of key points. So through use of email templates, documents, and signatures, we're helping to reinforce that brand recognition, regardless of who the customer's interacting with. They look professional, they demonstrate attention to detail and a sense of pride about your business as well. So they promote that sort of loyalty and trust that customers give if you've got that sort of big branding in their face as well. Efficient communications. So by using pre-designed templates for quotes and emails, obviously you're turning what could be hundreds of keystrokes and many clicks into essentially 2 or 3 clicks at a time, which just get rid of those repetitive tasks, especially with things like welcome letters and emails and bits and pieces like that. As with our example, we can still deliver that sort of personable communication with customers while having a huge time saving as well, which is a big step forward on being a sort of a more efficient and scalable approach to having a relationship with your customers and ensuring the retention of their business. And enhanced professionalism as well. So well-designed email signatures and templates add a touch of that professionalism, which contributes to that positive brand perception, ultimately contributing to a stronger relationship between you and your customers. So that's it for me. Thank you all for coming along live. I will open this up to questions. I'm sure there's probably quite a few. I can see there's already sort of 1 or 2 opening up now. So again, really appreciate you guys coming along, and I'll see what questions we've got. Okay, so had a few. One person's asked, how do I get that add-on for Word? I can actually show you that might be wise. It's within our documents, which you can get to from within the CRM, up in this little question mark, and then you click on documentation. That takes you to this portal. I think it's called Word. It's probably just Word add-on or something. There we go. Install the Prospect CRM add-on for Word. And there we've got some step-by-step instructions. Pressing get add-ins, go and find the add-in, add, and you'll get this sort of new menu on the right-hand side there. And another question. Do you offer one-to-one training or help with documents? So yeah, there's a few things. Obviously, we're happy to help through sort of queries you've got. You've got the live chat, which normally appears down here and can be accessed through the question mark again, and then chat with us. So any sort of little queries, feel free to get in touch. But for a sort of more in-depth session, we do sell basically consultancy if you wanted to just have an hour dedicated with someone sort of running through exactly your requirements. I've had a couple more questions coming in. So the formatting of emails is quite limited. Is there a way to improve this? If there's any suggestions, by all means, let us know. We're really interested in anything you've got to say on that. In terms of email templates themselves, you can again use sort of HTML to go and take this out of Prospect, edit the code, make it sort of look fancy, make it look better, and then import that code back in. In terms of formatting we have, if there's any suggestions on how you'd like to see and how we can improve that, then yes, absolutely, please let us know. Can you run through pinning again quickly? Of course. So any of these email documents or email templates, quote documents, anything like that, once you've made them, this question, little pencil, right-hand side, pin to menu is what you're looking for. You press yes. And then within, I think that was a contact level 1. So within your contacts there, if I give that a refresh, up in the 3 little dots, you've got the welcome letter there, and then create that's my Jan welcome email. And again, it just cuts out some of those clicks, so it's just a lot faster. Some of our customers just, you open that up and there's quite a few different things in there, just so that they don't have to spend a lot of time clicking. Can docs be pinned by default to all quotes? Can docs be pinned by default to all quotes? Not by default. I'm sorry, I might not understand that question entirely. I think what you're trying to say is, can I pin different things to quotes? Then yes, if you make a quote template, then you can pin as many sort of files as you like to it, and they'll always be there. The same with if you wanted to pin. Sorry, go on.
I think the customer there is saying, can by default you pin a document to just all of our quotes going forward?
Yes. In that case, that's absolutely fine.
If that's what you mean, Rob.
Yeah, apologies. So yes, if I go back here or something and go into one of our, so we have that quote document or something. So basic email quote, that's an email one. We have that basic PDF quote, whichever one you want. You can go into one of these and then pin one of those files. So this one has that PDF that automatically generates. If you wanted to attach a file then that goes through different specs or something, then you can attach those. One thing we've released recently, Rob, which might work if you're looking at sort of product level information, if you want to attach items from a library, we can actually create a link between products to the library, and then there's a link between the products and the quote, so you can have one of those files automatically attached, or multiple files automatically attached for the products you've got on your quotes. So yeah, there's definitely flexibility there. If you let us know exactly what it is you're trying to achieve, I'm sure we can help and see what we can do there. Can thumbnail images be included by some automation in itemized quotes? Itemized quotes. I don't think so. You can put images within the quotes and the templates and emails and documents and such like that. But when you say automation, are we saying different quotes, different images per quote, or different images per scenario or something? So potentially, again, that's a sort of a case-by-case one. I'm sure we can help with that. Where can I access recordings of these meetings, New Users 101 in particular? Yeah, so they are all on our YouTube channel, which I'm happy to show.
They are also, Alex, on our webinars page. So where you guys registered for this session, all of the recordings are also saved to there as well. Just for easy access. Yes,
so they're in here,
right? They are also on the YouTube channel as well. And further down, Alex.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, they're all on here. So that go prospectsoft.com/webinars, or on our YouTube channel, which I think it's just YouTube, and then just search ProspectSoft.
Prospect CRM. Yeah.
Channel on there with all of them on there. So yeah, Prospect CRM. Go to videos and you'll see them all start sort of appearing as you go down there. So that New Users 101, like I said, it was a few weeks ago. So there it is there, 1 month ago. Can you have specific documents from the library attached to an email template based on lines of the quote? Yes, so that was sort of what I covered a moment ago. So we have specifically a few ways of doing that. That's not set up in this demo, and I'd need to configure that, but we can take that offline. That's no problem at all. But yes, if you've got 5 products in on your quote, and of those 5 products, 3 of them have associated documents, you can have it so it automatically attaches those documents onto your email template, or even within a Word document, we can actually have links within the document itself. So there's a few options there. Again, if you've got, this is particularly for some customers who have typically bigger items or something that comes with specs or some kind of EPC certificates, then yeah, once we create those links, we can have it so they automatically are going attaching to those templates. So we got in here. We use a separate signature manager which puts signatures onto all of our emails. Is it possible to do the emails sent via ProspectSoft? That is not something I can answer, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm not too sure. So we might be able to do something to integrate that with, but yeah, that's quite a technical question. I'd need to go and have a chat with some of the team about. Apologies, I can't answer that one.
We'll take that away, Justin, and we'll get Alex to investigate for you and come back to you.
And I think that's it, unless anyone's got any other questions. Cool. If not, that's absolutely fine. I will leave you guys to it. That's brilliant. Thank you for all the questions. And again, thank you for any suggestions you've got on how we can improve that process. That's always appreciated. Yeah, thank you very much. I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Yeah.